and welcome to group today. I'm so sorry that it's late. It's been a long day. I was actually in bed a good portion of the day, sick with a fever. But luckily I started to feel better. We kicked off our Kairos today, this evening at Trinity Church. If you go to Trinity, you've heard all about it. Hopefully some of you attended. But it was just an amazing, miraculous evening, an appointment with God. And I'm so thankful that God put some healing into my body and I was able to attend because I was a little worried I wasn't going to be able to go, but I did, and so it was an awesome time. If you've not been, I encourage you to go next year, or maybe in the fall. We might be having one in the fall. So anyway, I just want to get into what I read, this past week. I'm mainly going to just get into the introduction of it, and I don't know how many of you fast or if you're very familiar with fasting, but one of the things that I really love that Jensen Franklin teaches us about fasting is that it really opens the door for a spiritual wholeness with God, and it's kind of just like joining hands with Him and just kind of joining forces with Him and teaming up and saying, all right, God, we got this. Let's do this together. So fasting is when we allow ourselves to come into that deeper intimacy with the Lord. It allows us to just kind of depend on Him and to need Him and to really just feed off of His love and His grace. The greatest times to fast is when you feel like you're growing a little dry spiritually, when you kind of just feel like, well, I'm not really sure what's going on. I'm feeling a little dry right now in my spiritual walk. And then when you need a fresh encounter with God, those are two great times, is when you're feeling dry with God and when you need that fresh, brand new encounter with Him. Fasting is a secret key that unlocks heaven's doors and slams shut the gates of hell. So like I said before, one of the things Jensen Franklin teaches us is that it's just that time where we come hand in hand with the Lord and we walk with Him, and we allow for heaven's doors to open and for those doors to hell to be slammed shut. The discipline of fasting releases the anointing and the favor and the blessing of God. There's just something about that, like complete surrender to God and just saying, you know what, God, I only depend on You. I only need You. You are the only one that can nourish me. And so when we do that, we allow for that anointing and that favor to just kind of come in and just fill us. And one of the questions that's asked is, do you know that you have an assignment of your life? Do you know that there's more to life than just going to work, being a parent, being a spouse, being a student, being a coworker, being a friend? There's so much more to our existence. There's an assignment. There's a reason. And whenever we get in those moments where we're not really sure what that assignment is, or we're asking like, what God, what do You have for me? Is there more for me? Fasting allows God to answer you. It kind of just frees everything. It allows that space in your body and your spirit to just really grasp onto that assignment that He has for you and what He has for you. So I'm going to ask a few questions, and you can feel free to comment below some of the answers. And this is just allow this to be a good time to conversate amongst one another about the introduction of this. So the first question is, fasting is just one of the threefold cords of spiritual life. What are the other two? So go on ahead and you can answer that below. And if you need to pause and then replay, that's fine. That'll work. Second question, what do you understand the purpose of fasting to be? Third question, what is the spiritual breakthrough that you want to be the result of your fast? So I'm going to end it with that. I'm going to allow you guys to just kind of meditate on those questions, and feel free to answer them when you're ready. And I hope that you guys just really use this as an opportunity to meet other people in this group and just to conversate back and forth. I will also be answering these questions online, but I'm going to give you guys a chance to answer them first. So if you have any questions, the cat's trying to get out of the room. If you have any questions or concerns, or just like to encourage anybody else, please feel free to do so on our group page. I'm so excited to get to know you all, and I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful weekend.